The saddest days are met. The saddest days are met.
Boxing's a fantastic sport. It's a great sport, and it is like a family. And like in families, you have disputes, you have fallouts, you have people talking this way about that person and this way about that person. And the average family, after a certain point, it can get toxic, can't it? Right. Boxing. You know what I mean? If they're not getting their own way, usually they find a way to get their own way. That's the managers and promoters and this, that and the other. It is bad, but it's good. Because it does so well for so many people. You know what I mean? But from a business point of view, you've got to have your head in a certain mindset to handle boxing, else it'll leave you like a husk.
You didn't let boxing use you. You used boxing. You won your title. You actually defended it a couple of times. I personally think, looking at it and your age, some would say you walked away from boxing a little bit too early. You know, you won I think you were offered a British title eliminator. I think you were 6 at one point in Britain, were you?
When I walked away, I was number 6 in the country, and I'd just been nominated to box Neil Simpson from Coventry in an eliminator for
light heavyweight.
For the British light heavyweight title, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now, kind of looking back, hindsight and all that kind of thing, do you regret it? Because Adam Fogarty said to me he regretted it big time.
Not at all, not at all. I'm here, you know what I mean? You can't regret what you didn't do. What you've got to do is look at what you did do,
yeah,
and work on that. You know what I mean? Listen, I'll tell you what it is. Boxing's a very, very, very hard sport, and what people see on the night is just an iota for the thick ones amongst us, a small part. An iota is a small part. That's the only thing I got from science. But anyway, boxing on the night is just a small part of it. That's the relief, to be fair. The fight night is the relief. All the hard work that's done in preparation, a lot of people don't see that. And sometimes you have so much work that's done, so much more work that's done, and more pain done in the preparation than there ever is on the fight night. The fight night's just intensified, and that's when it counts. But in all the preparation, you're getting bust up, you're working things out, you're having to work really hard. It's a cruel, unforgiving sport, but the rewards can be fantastic if you are the chosen one.
And obviously, on the subject of boxing, I mean, I come across your name 2015, and it was basically on the forums about a guy called Paul Sykes. Now, it's the opening chapter. It talks about 2 knockouts at Ellen Road. You meet the Lupset Lout, aka, I personally think, the most notorious man, I want to say Britain, but certainly Yorkshire's ever produced. You saw him a few times. I'm not going to ask you about the book, what were the ins and outs, because people can read that. But overall, I mean, do you know what? I'll say a lot of people talk about him on the internet. You were around him a few times, you were around the prisons, and you know, it's something that you've apologised more than once in the book, and some of it's pretty harsh reading, but you know, Paul Sykes, who was he? What was he about?
You know what, I can't turn around and say who he was, what he was about, this, that and the other, because my experiences. As a child, unfortunately, I had to go to HMP a couple of times for whatever reasons. And to tell you the truth, I think it's a bit of a, I don't know. I can't say too much about Sykes because I can only go with the experiences that I had. But you know what, it's a bit of a shame that so many people are happy to turn around and say, oh, I heard. Listen, there's a lot of people turning around and saying that he was a wrong and that he's kids and this, that and the other. Listen, my experience is this. when we were kids, 16, 15, in Armley, we got shoved in there, and all the rumours were, oh, Sykes, he'll knock you out and you, he'll bang you about this, that, and for me, honestly, I have never, ever met anybody who got more than a dig from Sykesy. You know what I mean? They might have been slapped by him, punched by him, whatever. I've never met anybody who got by him. Never. And all I've ever heard is hearsay. I'm like, you can't really go on hearsay. What did you see yourself? I've heard people talking about Sykesy and Durham that they heard. I was there. Sykesy were on segregation. He were in a cage. He were on, is it 43? Not to protect him. To protect us. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's rule 43A and 43B or something like that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that we were going around knocking, but you know, knocking people about. But it's just that at the end of the day, I think you were the sort of person that if you were if you were walking the landings and he spied bullshit, he'd be in straight into it and sort it out. You know what I mean? Or if somebody straight in and sort it out, and usually it was a clout.
But overall, he wasn't blessed with a great deal of patience.
Well, why would you have patience for bullshit?
Yeah, and
Why?
you're like that a little bit.
Well, I've got the patience of a saint, mate. You want to see me name with kids on the night time, Jesus Christ. But with adults talking bullshit, I'm like, just leave it out, mate. Stop your shit. Thank you. Or at least wait until I've gone.
Yeah.
Wait until I've gone, because my face don't lie. If I hear somebody talking shit and blatant lies just to inflate their own self, I'm like, do us a favour. I can't listen to this shit, because if I do, that's like me talk. If I'm listening to it and I'm standing for it, I'm, what's the word? Complicit. That's it. Complicit. And I'm not complicit in bullshit. If you're gonna lie, don't lie around me, because I'm like, I'll call you on it and just say, yeah, listen, that didn't happen. Tell truth. Tell truth. You know what I mean? There's not wrong with truth. I mean, I can stand for truth. But if you're gonna lie on bullshit, forget that. For the book, you've got to think scum. A little bit, you know, there's parts of it that's
there
like
is,
scum.
yeah,
We were brought up on that shit, you know what I mean? And
So that film was out in 1979.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I remembered about that film. The main part I remembered about that film, Carlin goes into, whether it's Greenhouse, and he goes to the black guy who was supposed to be a face in that. Where's your tool? Black guy goes, what tool? Carlin goes, bap, 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 bap. That fucking tool or something. And what I took from that was, ooh, shouldn't have had that conversation. As soon as he says, where's your tool? Gone. Deal with it. You know you're going to fight. From time he's asking you where your tool, fight, strike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was my mentality when, unfortunately, I got put into places like that. And I'm not a bad man and nothing like that, but I'm striking. I'm going to, listen, if I know it's on, there's no to talk about. Let's get it on. You know what I mean?
There's comedy in this book, and I think, as I've always said to you for years, and Josh went to me, Jamie, you're right. You're funny and you don't mean to be. And like, for instance, when someone disrespected you in prison, and your mate turned to you and went, "Are you going to put up with that?" And you went, "Shut up, listen, we're not going anywhere, we're in prison."
Where is it? Now, see you morning. See you soon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, listen, now you've got to worry about when I'm going to get you.
But that's cold and calculated. It's almost like a tiger looking through a grass. You know, you have to be that.
You know when you're young?
Yeah.
And you're in them say, listen, I heard horror stories and seen some stuff that I just thought, I don't want that to happen to me. Simple. So I was like a fucking pepperami. You remember that pepperami?
Yeah.
I was like a stick of pepperami. I remember the first time I went to Army, I looked in the mirror. I thought, is that me? Jesus Christ, I thought I was fucking massive. I was like that. And then I thought, you know what? There's some handfuls in here. I need to get my bulk up. So I just did my press ups, my squats, my pull ups, my all sorts of that. Built my body strong. Boxing in the cell and that. Said to me, Padme, listen, if I give you half ounce of baccy a week, will you hold this mattress while I punch it on a night time? And greedy fucker, he was like, yeah. Jesus Christ, I felt for him. because I would at it every night. Boom, 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 and he was in the corner with the mattress and that. Hang on, it's better. I'll let you have a cig break. You know what I mean? And then we'd be back at it, and I'd be training. Screws would be coming to the door, and they'd be saying, "Manners, that's it now. Calm down." Right, well, what? What do you mean, calm down? I'm training. No, listen, too much noise. So what are you going to do? Lock me up?
Yeah.
Come on, do one.
Yeah.
Get going.
I mean, that's, you know, you're the lowest. You're at the lowest point in life. You can't get any lower. You're in prison. You know, it's
Could be dead.
yeah. You know, I'm in here with your boxing gym, and there's pictures and of every probably fighter that's ever been worth on the wall. You've been around the game, and are you still as much in love with the game? I think you maybe even are more than ever, because you didn't love boxing then. You love fighting then.
I love the game, and I love the idea of the game, because the game still gives me hope to give somebody else hope to improve themselves. A lot of these kids will come in the gym. I'm not even bothered if they box, because I'm not their pimp. If they get to the level where they're very, 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 very capable and want to go, yeah, I'll push them and I'll push them on. But first and foremost, it's just about, listen, let's build some good men, some good kids with character, with a bit of a backbone, with a bit of a strength, and what's the word? Resoluteness and character, and able to stand for discipline.
So Nick, looking forward, I mean, this book, you know, it's been such a long time coming. You know, I always say to people, when you release a book, a lot of people think, oh, it's the end and that's it. It's a start. But ultimately, what do you want from this book? Kind of, what's your message when people pick this book up, spend the hard-earned money, and they're reading front, gotta go through this? What's ultimately the message in there where you want to, people, Nick, I read your book. What are you hoping for?
Personally, you know what it is. I'm a bit of a different kind of character. I'm an individual, and in reality, sometimes I'm misunderstood because I might be quite direct in certain things, and there's certain things that I don't tolerate or don't stand for. I'm not perfect, but I strive to be. But if anything, what I'd like to do, that story, the story of my life so far, hopefully you'll get an idea why I am how I am to a degree, and you might understand. We've all got experiences that we go through, you know what I mean, but mine's is my own individual experience, and I won't mind one or two knowing that you can come from a position where you're really, really disadvantaged and you're expected to crumble. But if you stay focused on yourself, have a little bit of self-respect for yourself, chances you'll come through. You don't have to have what everybody else is. I know you want to hear about blood, guts, not you. People really like to hear about blood, guts, gore and badness and bad boy, rude boy, all that bollocks. But in reality, what you want to do really and truly is go home, relax and enjoy the love of your family and the people that are around you. And that's what I do. I've got a beautiful family, I've got beautiful people around me, and you know what, I'm quite happy and I feel quite fortunate. But what I do see, I see a lot of people who may not have that same level of comfort, and that may be because of the demons that they have or the things that they've gone through in their life. And I turn around and say, listen, sometimes it might take you just to reset and to change your own way of doing things. We all know when we're doing wrong. We all know when we're going down the wrong path, anyway, we'll leave it there. Listen, my book, From Got to Get Through This, is just a reflection of some of the fucking really good and funny times that I've had through my life, and I'll tell you what, I'm happy as Larry to have got through to here. And other than that, if you ever want to do boxing, I'm the best at it, trust me, I'm good. I do my shit, get my shit, I get results. Done!
The saddest days are